Hello kids, and welcome back to Let's Read with Daddy here on White Wolf 1981. And today I've got a little treat for you. Today I'm doing two videos because I fell behind this week and I want to get us caught back up to where we have the 3 videos for the week. And next week I will probably do 2 a day, or somehow put the other 3 books in there to get us caught up completely. But today it is Little Mouse Finds a Friend, and this book is written by Gabby Goldsack, illustrated by Emma Leach. This looks to be a pretty new book, so it's not one that I've read, it's not one that my kids have heard yet. So we're going to embark on this one together. We're going to discover this book at the same time. One winter, Foxglove Farm was covered in a soft blanket of snow. Little Mouse sat in the barn and shivered. He was cold and hungry. He knew there was tasty scraps and a warm fire in the farmhouse, but he didn't dare go in there. Entering the farmhouse was a deadly business. First you had to get past the huge farm dog. His ferocious bark and snarling teeth were enough to scare the bravest of mice. Then there was the farmer's wife. It was said that she once cut off a mouse's tail with a carving knife. But worst of all was the cat. She was terrifying. She had dagger-like fangs and claws as sharp as needles. Her large amber eyes saw everything. Go see if Aunt Amy's here. And her small black ears missed nothing. She could hiss like a snake and snarl like a tiger. That's kind of a scary thought. Snakes and tigers. This cat can hiss like a snake and snarl like a tiger? That scares even me. And I'm not even a mouse. Little Mouse had heard that. It scares Sarah too. Little Mouse had heard that the cat could creep up on you in total silence and then pounce with deadly speed. The mere thought of the cat made Little Mouse quake with fear. The days passed, and Little Mouse became more and more hungry. Each day he roamed the farm in search of food, but there was little food to be found. The horse guarded his oats. The chickens chased him away from their grain. The cows stamped their feet every time he tried to share their morning feed. The pigs wouldn't even let him share the kitchen scraps. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to share with those animals. I'd want to keep it to myself. I would, if it was mine, and I wouldn't want to eat after them either. That could be kind of yucky. But I guess if you're a mouse, then you're not going to be too worried about it. Especially if you're a hungry mouse like this mouse is.
Gross!
By midwinter, Little Mouse was so hungry that he made a big decision. What do you think that decision was?
I think it was finding a friend.
You think it was finding a friend?
I do, right?
Sarah thinks it was finding a friend. And I can see down here below, if you leave your comments, I can see what you think his big decision was. But we're going to read on and find out. You ready to find out? I know I am. And Sarah is too. He was going to creep into the farmhouse and find something to eat. Well, that's not going to find a friend. That's trying to get food. Because he's that hungry.
Maybe after it he'll find kind of a friend.
Okay, well let's read on and find out.
I know just who
that night, Little Mouse waited until the dog was in his kennel, and the farmer and his wife were snoring in their bed. Do you snore? I'm told that I snore, but I don't know.
I don't think I do.
Oh, but you do. Sarah snores.
No.
Then he crept across to the farmhouse and peered in through the window. What he saw inside made him squeak with terror.
What about the cat?
What about the cat? There's the cat right there. See, kids? There's the cat. And there's the mouse trying to get in, but the cat won't let him.
Oh, but it will.
The cat was leaping up and down and spitting wildly. Her hairs were standing on end, and her eyes glinted dangerously. It was a terrifying sight. Is that a terrifying sight? That's kind of what it looked like the cat's trying to do.
No, not
But
to
I don't
me.
know. Sarah says it's not to her, but I don't know.
It was for a friend. It was because he wanted to be that mouse's friend.
I don't know. Let's read on and find out. Little Mouse was about to scamper away when the cat howled and flopped flat to the ground. Meow. The sound made Little Mouse stop and take another look. It was only then that he noticed something that gave him the courage to sneak in through the cat flap door. The cat flap for a closer look. What do you think it was? Huh? Let's see. See what it was. The cat's right paw was stuck in a hole in the floorboards. As Little Mouse watched, the cat tried to tug her paw free, but she only managed to hurt herself. Ouch! Hissed the cat. Her amber eyes glinted with pain. Look at that face. Look at the face on that cat. Let's get it up here. That looks kind of like the face I made, huh? Kind of a scary look. Kind of a scary face. Little Mouse was very scared, but he was also very kind. He didn't like to see anything in pain, so he crept forward to see if he could help. The cat's ears twitched. "Who goes there?" she hissed. "Only me," squeaked Little Mouse bravely. "Can I help you?" The cat swished her tail and sighed. "My paw is trapped, but I don't suppose a little fellow like you can help. I'll just have to wait until the farmer's wife comes down in the morning." She began to lick her trapped paw so sadly that Little Mouse felt quite sorry for her. "I can help," she declared bravely. And before he could change his mind, Little Mouse dashed forward and began nibbling at the wood surrounding the cat's trapped paw. Little Mouse tried to ignore the cat's glittering eyes as he gnawed away. He tried not to think about his or her glistening fangs and sharp claws. He worked quickly, and soon the cat's paw was free. "Thank you," purred the cat. She licked her sore paw and arched her back with delight. Her eyes glowed. Little Mouse tried to flee, but the cat was too fast. She pounced and trapped Little Mouse's tail beneath her paw. Uh-oh.
I know what that means, though.
What do you think is going to happen, kids?
I don't think she's going to get the new friends. I do, too. I don't think he's going to...
Do you think that... You kids at home, do you think that the cat's going to eat Little Mouse? Or do you think they're going to be become friends like Sarah was saying earlier? Okay. Sarah, what do you think? Do you think they're going to become friends like you were saying?
I do.
You do? Levi? Do you think they're going to become friends? You do? Okay. You could kind of see him back here in the behind me shaking his head yes. But he needs to stay out of that refrigerator.
Oh.
Okay, well, let's read on and see if we can find out what happens. Okay? "Hey, don't run away," she purred. "I'm not going to hurt you."
I'm not trying to, anyway.
Little Mouse gulped and looked up into her eyes. What he saw surprised him. Her eyes weren't scary at all. They were kind and playful. Little Mouse smiled up at the cat. Yum. See down here, the cat, or not the cat, the mouse is eating what looks like maybe bread or something. Right there, and he says, "Yum." The cat smiled back. "Why don't you come and warm up by the fire?" she asked. "I can even find you some scraps of cheese." So maybe it's cheese, I don't know. If you like. "Oh, yes, please," squealed Little Mouse. "I am starving." After Little Mouse had eaten so much that he groaned with pleasure, he sat beside the warm fire with the cat by sunrise. Little Mouse and the cat were the very best of friends. Oh, looks like they became more than just friends. Looks like they became the very best of friends.
Yep, they became the
Levi,
very best of
I need you to put that cup down for me. Go look and see if that was Aunt Amy's car.
I'll go check.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, the farmer's wife didn't share the view on mice. She screamed and screamed and screamed. "Humans are frightened of mice," explained the cat. "That's why they make such a fuss." "But what about the farmer's wife cutting off our tails with a carving knife?" asked Little Mouse. "Oh, that's just a silly story," laughed the cat. "But I think it's probably safer if you only come into the farmhouse when everyone else has gone to bed," the cat said, smiling. From that day on, Little Mouse never went hungry. Every day the cat would leave little scraps inside his mouse hole in the barn. And every night when everyone else was asleep, Little Mouse would creep into the farmhouse and warm himself beside the fire with his new best friend. The end. And Levi and Sarah walked away at the end of that. Goodbye. That was Little Mouse Finds a Friend. See you next week.